Hello everyone, it's Scott, and today we're looking at Boros Convoke. So this deck's been making the rounds, and has actually got a really good record against the Esper deck and also the 4 or 5 color control deck that's out there that uses Atraxa. So I figured I'd take it out for a spin to see what we've got with it. So the first thing we want to talk about are the creatures that are in the deck. We've got 4 Wardens of the Inner Sky. We've got 4 Recruitment Officers and 4 Hopeful Initiates. So a lot of fast 1-drops to get cards out quickly. Okay, then we have 4 copies of Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Okay, to slow down opponents that want to play non-creature spells. We've got 4 copies of Resolute Reinforcements to get multiple bodies on the field. We also have Coppercoat Vanguard to pump up all of our humans because everything in the deck is a human. And for removal purposes, we've got a couple of Brutal Cathars, a couple of copies of Adeline, Resplendent Cathar to create human tokens and give us a big body on the field. And our star of the deck is Imodane's Recruiter. So the point of all these small creatures is to get yourself to the point where you've got a critical mass of stuff on the field, and then play Imodane's Recruiter and use its Enter the Battlefield ability where all your creatures get +1 and gain haste until the end of the turn. So that's really what we're looking to do with this card. Now, we can also use the sorcery side of it, Train Troops, where you can actually create 2 white knight creature tokens with vigilance, but probably we're not going to be using that very often. And the last creature in the deck is our card draw spell, which is Knight-Errant of Eos. 5 mana, but you can convoke it into play, and when Knight-Errant of Eos enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library, and you may reveal up to 2 creature cards with mana value X or less from among them, where X is the number of creatures that convoke Knight-Errant of Eos. Put the revealed cards in your hand, then shuffle. So what Knight-Errant of Eos does is we look at 6 cards, and we're going to be able to get 2 cards out of that. So we always want to convoke this into play with at least 3 of our creatures, and maybe even 4 or 5, so that we potentially, if we get a Knight-Errant of Eos among them, we would be able to get that as well. Mana base is pretty straightforward. We've got 2 copies of Eiganjo for a little bit of removal, 8 planes, 4 battlefield forges, Cavern of Souls to protect our spells from being countered, our creature spells that is, a couple of copies of Mirrex for late in the game when we need a couple extra bodies, and we've got 4 Secluded Courtyards to add mana of any color for our humans. In the sideboard, we've got 2 copies of Lantern Flare for some removal. We've got 2 copies of Extraction Specialist for decks that would removing our cards early in the game, and then we can bring them back with Extraction Specialist. We got 4 copies of Wedding Announcement because it's basically one of the top few cards in Standard right now, so we want to have access to those against decks where we need to go over the top of. We got 3 copies of Destroy Evil for taking out large threats, and 3 copies of Invasion of Gobakhan to slow down an opponent, but also then if we can defeat the battle, then all of our creatures that attack every turn, they're going to get a +1/+1 counter. And Light Shield Array also protects us then from spells, because all of our creatures could get indestructible and hexproof if we sacrifice Light Shield Array. And our final card in our sideboard is Knockout Blow. And Knockout Blow is another one of those cards that can remove an attacking or blocking creature. And we really are probably using this mostly against mono red as a way to gain some life and destroy one of their creatures. Alright, so that's the deck. Let's take it out for a spin. Alright, so we'll be on the play for this one. Unfortunately, a bad draw for us, so we'll have to mulligan that. And I'm going to get rid of one of the Knight-Errant of Eos because we're really a long way from being able to cast that. Let's see what our opponent does. Get rid of the Knight-Errant of Eos. And I'm playing the planes here just so that way we're not giving away the fact that we've got the Cavern of Souls right now. So if they are a blue deck, and they have counter spells, they probably will think they can do something until we get to a place where we want to play something and prevent them from countering it. And so some quick early damage from Recruitment Officer. And next turn we can play Knight-Errant of Eos, or we can play Adeline, and in this case we're going to play Adeline. Get some damage in, get a creature token. And we're really set up well for a turn 4 here, where we can either Knight-Errant of Eos, or we can... They're going to take our Adeline. Okay, we got a Coppercoat Vanguard. Okay, we're going to play that. Okay, and I'm going to actually go ahead and play Knight-Errant of Eos here. And I'm going to activate 3 of them. We're going to give up a little bit of damage right now, but by doing this, we're going to get access to some more cards, and that's good for us. And I'm going to take Thalia, and I'm going to take Brutal Cathar, because I think those are the 2 that'll help us the most in this matchup. And again, we're set up for a pretty good turn 4 here. They're using Herd Migration, which is a good sign for us. Okay, we've got... And what they do here, we potentially have lethal damage on the board. If they kill Coppercoat, though, that's very unfortunate for us, because that's going to significantly reduce our ability to do some damage. But again, we're going to go ahead and attack all out, try to get in as much damage as possible, and we'll hold off on Brutal Cathar here. So if they do play a creature, we can at least remove it and hopefully get lethal on the next turn. Okay, they're going to play Teferi Stomper, which is good for us. That'll get them a land. And a land for turn. So they've got 2 mana up to be able to do something. I'm going to play nothing at this point, and we're just going to go ahead and attack because they don't have enough lands to block with Teferi Stomper, because they need 7. They're going to Herd Migration again to get back up to 11. Okay, and they'll also get a land here. So now they're at 7 land. So their Teferi Stomper will be able to block next turn. Alright, we get them down to 1. I'm going to hold on to the Initiative and the Brutal Cathar. And the reason I'm doing that is just in case they have a board wipe here, that will be able to rebuild fairly quickly from that board wipe. And Thalia does push the cost up to 6 for that, and they give up, and we'll take game number 1. Alright, so now we're going to look for a way to slow them down a little bit. And so Invasion of Gobakhan is going to come in as a logical card here. Thalia is really important in this one. So I'm going to take out a copy of Reinforcements, a copy of Hopeful Initiate, and go from there. Alright, on to game 2. I'm going to go ahead and keep this, because we'll be able to get Thalia down on turn 2, which should slow them down a little bit. We can Invasion of Gobakhan actually now on turn 2, which is probably our better play here, so we can slow them down in terms of what they're playing. Okay, at least get a picture of what they've got. Wow, they have a lot of Atraxas, but those are a long way from being important. I'm going to get rid of this so they can't kill our Thalia. So that goes to 5 mana to play the Lockvale Scorn to give something a -3/-3, and they gain 2 life. Okay, play our Cavern, put on humans, play our Thalia, making it even more expensive for those cards. herd migration, draw land. So it'll be important for us to very quickly start moving towards defeating our opponent, because if we don't do damage here quickly, they're going to get to those Atraxes and then the game's just over. Okay, opponent passes. I'm going to play another Cavern on humans. We'll play a Warden of the Inner Sky and our Coppercoat Vanguard to allow us to potentially go ahead and take out our Invasion of Gobakhan, because that'll be important to us. Okay, and they do block, which I figured they were going to do. That gets rid of that. So next turn, hopefully, we can get Knight-Errant of Eos down, and then also from there attack and take out Invasion of Gobakhan. Alright, they're playing Archangel of Wrath, and they're going to kill our Coppercoat. And this probably puts us in a really unfortunate place, because they're going to be able to kill not only Coppercoat, but then also something else. Okay, well, they're going to take a shot at us, killing Coppercoat. And unfortunately for us, at this point, they're in a very, very advantaged position. But I'm going to go ahead and look for some help for us here. Fortunately, we drew lands instead of creatures, and the effect of that is putting us in a pretty unfortunate place. We'll get a couple more, and we can actually play both of them. Okay, creating a decent turn next turn. And I'm going to go ahead and activate Warden of the Inner Sky's ability. Okay, we've got another Warden of the Inner Sky coming. Probably should have been that and looked for something that could deal with Archangel of Wrath. Okay, we're going to take out our Hopeful Initiate. So now we're kind of in a difficult place. I'm going to attack this with Knight-Errant of Eos, because it can survive Archangel of Wrath if it blocks, and if it doesn't, then we're going to be able to get the advantage of being able to give our creatures hexproof and indestructible if we need to, and then also giving us that ability to... Okay, they're going to block here, so that's a nice help for us. So they're up to 32, and we'll go ahead and tap these three. Okay, Cavern of Souls isn't helpful to us. Okay, and I'm going to end the turn. Kind of see how things go here. We'll either activate Recruitment Officer to draw a card, or activate Mirrex to create another creature. And the opponent is just rolling in, you know, land here. So if we don't see our another copy of Invasion. If you don't see another copy of Invasion of Gobakhan or Recruitment Officer, okay, we'll take Adeline. Okay, that's going to be a big help for us. And we also get a second Thalia. All right, we're going to play Adeline here. And obviously if they have... how do we want to do this? Yeah, I think Knight-Errant of Eos is just our best bet to do that. We'll send everybody else on the team at our opponent. We get some activations here. Okay. And opponent knockout uses their knockout blow on R. Okay, so we're unfortunately not going to get to have Invasion to protect us, which is an unfortunate thing. But we are, if they don't have a land here, which means they can't get Atraxa down, then we're actually in a pretty good shape to go ahead and do quite a bit of damage next turn. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we're going to go ahead and just attack with everything and see if we can take him out here. And I'm going to activate Mirrex here to give us another point of damage. Okay, get the opponent down to 3. So even with, if they are able to play Atraxa here, Atraxa's only 7 life gain, so they'll be at 10. And then they probably are going to block Adeline with Atraxa. They're going to Thalia here, okay, trying to get some stuff to block with. Okay, they're able to get, let's see what they're able to get here. And they don't get anything, and they scoop it up. All right. And that's really the... Let's go back to the battlefield for a second. That's really the advantage of this deck, is once you've gone wide, if your opponent is unable to board wipe you, then, you know, in a matter of 1 or 2 swings, you can get them down to where they're going to die on the next turn. And that's where they were. And their Thalia activations didn't get them anything. They got a Virtue of Persistence, which would not have helped them. And they got an Invasion of Gobakhan. So neither of those would have helped them in that situation. So we were able to take them out. All right. On to the next one. All right, so we're going to be on the play, which will help us out quite a bit here. Decent opening hand. We've got all the mana we're going to need to play stuff, so we're going to go ahead and keep it even though we don't have a turn 1 play. I'm going to get a plains down to start with so we don't give away too much information about what we've got. So it looks like they're going to be playing the life gain deck. So I'll play Secluded Courtyard on humans. And I'm going to pass, and I will drop Resolute Reinforcements on the next turn. Okay, they get a Recruitment Officer, gain some life. Okay, and we're going to block here. That's perfect for us, so we can take out their Luminous Veteran, get rid of their life gain. I'm going to play Battle, and I'm going to go ahead and actually play right here this, so we get some blockers in place. And I'm going to attack, because if they want to swap the Recruitment Officer for our Resolute Reinforcement, that's good for us. And then next turn, we'll be able to... Okay, we get our 4th land. I'm going to play Thalia, get our 4th card out there, and I'm going to go ahead and activate... Actually, let me cancel that, because I want to leave Thalia open, because we don't have enough cards to get our Knight-Errant of Eos, so I'm going to go ahead and activate 3, and hopefully we find 2 good cards. And we do. And opponent scoops that up. Wow. They saw what we were getting, and that was enough for them. Alright, so we know that they're an aggro strategy, so I'm going to bring in some of our Lantern Flares here and our Knockout Blow, so we can have a little bit more removal in the deck. I'm going to take out one of our Knight-Errant of Eos, and then I'm also going to go ahead and get rid of one of our Thalias. At that point, I think we're in good shape to go ahead and have a good game too. Alright, going to game 2 in our match against Azorius Life Gain. Alright, our opponent just blows up. Okay, another win for Boros Convoke. Alright, so in this one we'll go ahead and play first. Good opening hand. Having the 2 Thalias is nice, and we got Brutal Cathar, so we can deal with something if we need to. So I think this is a good place for us to start. Opponents had to mulligan twice. So that puts us in a really good position, particularly if they're playing a spells deck and not a creature deck. Let's see what they've got. Possibly the Gruul aggro deck or Gruul Dinosaur. Probably given that card the I think this is probably likely the aggro deck, so we'll put Thalia out as a something that can slow them down a little bit, at least make all of their pump spells cost 1 more, which should be helpful to us. So they get their Monastery Swift Spear, which we'll let them attack in with. And we get our 3rd land here. And we're going to go ahead and attack. Race a little bit. And we'll hold on and we'll go ahead with Resolute Reinforcements here in a second to drop those 2. But we'll see if they're playing here. Okay. Play these. We'll go ahead and block etching with them. Unless they're going to kill one of them first. Maybe not, so we'll block etching with them. And if they have pump spells, they have a pump spell. Not much we can do about it. But at least we've limited how much damage they can do as a result of that. They're going to go ahead and take out Thalia, which is great for us. So if they don't have it, okay. So that's great for us. We'll play Secluded Courtyard. We'll play it on humans. And I am going to Brutal Cathar here, taking their Swift Spear. If they get it back, that's okay. Because no, it's not going to have that counter anymore. Okay, we'll see what they play here. Hopefully we don't see any more land because we've gotten 5 land in about 10 cards. Yeah, 5 and 10. So we're flooding so far in the game, and we'll see if they've got removal for Brutal Cathar or not. Okay, they do not, but they have a land and an etching. So mana plays. Okay, we're going to play Battlefield Forge. We'll go ahead and play Coppercoat Vanguard, and also play Thalia. And I'm going to go ahead and activate Warden of the Inner Sky's ability while I can here. And that's great because we shuffle away a Battlefield Forge and do some damage. So they're likely to go ahead and play their Druid, Questing Druid here, giving it a counter. And we'll see if they've got something else. Oh, we get another Secluded Courtyard. Okay, we'll play it on humans again. And I'm going to go ahead and activate this again, even though... Okay, we get a Warden of the Inner Sky next turn, so great. We'll only get the attack with 1. But I don't feel like we're at a place where our light total's really in jeopardy, and that does flip our Brutal Cathar into Moonrage Brute, which I think is a big help to us. They do get a Godric here, so that's a big one for them because they get the celebration effect, and because of that, that leads them into a position where they're going to have a big attack here. But we do have lethal on the swing back, so they are going to have to be a little bit careful about what they're doing here. Okay, they're going to go bring us down to 7, or if they have a pump spell here, they can get something lower. Doesn't look like they have the pump spell. Okay. And we'll play Warden. And we're just going to go ahead and attack with everything. 2 first strikers puts us in good position here. Unfortunately, that means that they win the game, though. Because they're going to be able to get their... Okay, they kill Warden of the Inner Sky. Interesting. Because... And that's interesting because I do have a blocker right now. So I can block Questing Druid. So if they don't have something, then we're in great shape here. So we'll see if they've got a removal. And we'll play Imodane Recruiter here. And we just need to get a damage through. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. And we are successful in getting it done. Great. Alright, since it looks like they're playing an aggressive strategy here, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our Lantern Flares. And because they're playing red, our knockout blow will be very helpful to us here. I am going to go ahead and pull out one of our Thalias, and then I'm going to pull out one of our Knights, and that should be where we want to be going into game 2. Alright, going to game 2. Okay, we'll be on the draw again, and the opponent isn't going to be in as bad as shaped, but we did get an Imodane's Recruiter here, so that's really nice to get that. So we'll be able to play Secluded Courtyard and main humans. Okay, they're going to be able to get that down right away. Alright, I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to put my own Cavern of Souls down. So that way I don't have to worry about anything related to this. Not that they can counter anything, but that'll help us out a little bit. And they get a Feldon, which isn't great for us. Which leads me to a place where I think we're going to have to... I'm going to put Thalia down here, and the reason I'm playing Thalia is so that way the opponent can't just attack with Kumano, the Etching of Kumano, and get through damage. We are really in a tough situation now, based on where they are, but we'll see if they've got anything. Okay, the fact that they're not attacking with Etching is a very good sign for us. So what I'm going to do is this. Okay, now we've got 4, and I'm going to tap all of them, play Knight-Errant of Eos, which should be able to stop anything. Ugh, we needed one more. Oh, I needed one more thing to be able to make that work. Now, the good news is, on the swing back here, if they attack with everything, as long as Knight-Errant of Eos survives, we're in really good shape because we'll be able to play a Recruitment Officer and also Imodane's Recruiter. Alright. Kill both of them. Oh, it's too bad I can't. I think I just have to go for it here. The good news is anything that gets blocked, assuming that they don't have a burn spell here, does go ahead, is going to get it killed. But okay, they're going to take out the Thalia. Okay, so again, we're not quite doing enough damage here, but they're going to be able to keep everything alive, which is not great for us. They are going to kill the Warden of the Inner Sky as well. But they're going to take 12 here. Got 2 left. We'll have to see how this works out in the end. And they play Questing Druid. They've got a shock that can kill Imodane's Recruiter and pump up their team here. But it's possible that we've still got the game. Okay, take out Recruitment Officer, interesting. So they can do 6, but they're going to back off and only do 1. We get another Cavern of Souls, unfortunately. Alright. So they're out of mana. And I'm going to go ahead and attack with these 2. So they're going to have to block Knight-Errant of Eos to prevent that. Okay, and that's a good place for us. And I'm going to wait on Resolute Reinforcements until I know kind of what the situation is. Okay, opponent plays Questing Druid, so that's good for us. So they've got a Strangle that they're going to kill that with. Okay. They still only have one blocker, and that's the good news for us. They're going to get in for 3 here, because I'm not going to block. So I'm at 4. I have 3 attackers, and they scoop it up. Alright.